I've probably been walking upstairs my whole life. In fact, I think I'm pretty good at it. I also make games where you go upstairs sometimes. Stairs in games are a bit tricky to make, and I don't really think an ideal solution exists. I'll show you some common implementations and where they tend to fall short. Firstly, why are stairs a problem to begin with? Character controllers in games tend to just slide around the world, with stepping animations only being added on top of that as a visual flourish. Since stairs go up at a 90-degree angle, your character initially treats it similar to a wall, where they hit the stair step and then stop immediately. The easiest solution is replacing the collider for the staircase with a collider for a ramp. That way the character can just easily slide from the bottom to the top. This is what a lot of games do, but it does look kind of strange. Firstly, your character is very clearly floating above the stairs. You can sort of band-aid fix this problem by making the character collide with an invisible ramp, and then you add an inverse kinematics to the visuals, just the legs, to snap them down onto a separate layer where just the stair collider is. This is what Counter-Strike usually does, as you can see in this clip, but it still looks kind of odd. The thing is, with this solution, it doesn't really have like the natural motion of stairs. Like your center of mass when you're going upstairs in real life sort of like bounces as you go up the stairs, whereas this one's just like smooth like a ramp, so it doesn't really match the motion very well. This leads to the second implementation. Instead of adding an invisible ramp, you just detect when the player hits a wall. If they do, you check if that wall is under a certain height, and then you teleport them to the top if it is. And when the player goes down a step, you just do the same thing. If they're falling and they were just grounded, you check if the distance to the bottom is under a certain height, and then you snap them to the next step. If you add in some inverse kinematics from earlier, this looks kind of okay. I think in my implementation I did here in Unity, I should probably add some smoothing to make it look better, but it looks fine. I mean, I think the model kind of makes it look weird, the player model, but it is what it is. The motion tracks with like what you would expect when climbing stairs, and the feet are on the ground in a way that is realistic, maybe. It almost goes up the stairs as well as I do. The whole reason I'm making this video is I did watch this video by Nick here, and he talks a lot about finding a solution to the stair problem, where he shows the teleport implementation I just talked about. And he talked about how it may be the best solution, or like how he thinks it's almost a complete solution. I don't know. Here's some clips of him talking about that.
I'm not saying that I've like solved stairs, but I think I'm pretty darn close. So does snapping up and down solve the stair problem? Well, as a lawyer might say, it depends. It works in most cases, including some of the edge cases we discussed earlier. It doesn't snap over walls, allows for configuration of what's considered a step, and works on the sides of ramps and overhangs. So overall, I'd say snapping mostly solves the stair problem.
I really liked his video, and his character controller also looks pretty cool, but I just fundamentally disagree with like the idea of there being a solution to the stair problem. The above implementation does seem pretty ideal, but depending on the use case, it does fall short. If you're holding an angle in Counter-Strike while on a staircase, you absolutely do not want your vision to be bouncing around. Ramps give you a smooth and predictable motion that's consistent and easy to aim with, and that's the primary focus of a game like Counter-Strike. It focuses more on like the being very smooth and very tactical and competitive, rather than like having a sense of realism. That's all to say that most design problems in games don't really have solutions. I don't think it's good to think about game mechanics in terms of being inherently good or bad, or solved or unsolved. I think that all game mechanics can work in a correct context. There's just incorrect contexts. Obviously, there's some that work in almost no context, but I feel like it's entirely possible to imagine a game where almost any implementation of a mechanic works. But yeah, I don't know. Just think critically. Like, don't take mechanics for granted, and don't take solutions for granted. Think about if they fit your game that already exists and the mechanics that exist around it. But yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you do subscribe to the channel. Don't take mechanics for granted. Don't do fentanyl, and yeah, like this video and share it. Check out the video Nick made as well. It's super good and swag. He has a very good editing style. I hope you enjoyed the one I made as well. I have big plans for the channel, so make sure you stay tuned. Thank you and goodbye.